He's a
Oh
bum.
What?
I
Yo,
like
that's a Hall of Fame terrible take right there.
No, it's not. It's
Hall
true.
of Fame
It's so
terrible.
true.
Motherfucking truth.
Boy just choked. Straight women booty and let the ball go.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
LeBron James
puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Irving and Curry. One-on-one with Irving. Puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
Oh yeah, but we'll get to explaining and debating in a second. Joseph, how we feeling?
I was good until I was looking at this bullshit list. Sorry, oh, there we go. Never mind. I didn't see the man's name for a second. I was looking at a list. I didn't see LeBron James' name in the top 10. And I'm
Lord,
gonna go
here
crazy.
you
They
go.
top
Here
do they
you
top
go.
50.
Everything
I
ain't
didn't see
about LeBron, bro.
I didn't see
Everything
LeBron.
ain't
I almost
about
had a heart
LeBron.
attack.
Not all about him.
This year it is. This year it's about
It'll be
LeBron and
all right.
Bronny.
Man. Whatever. All right. 3 and a possible. We are here. We got WNBA Finals just wrapped up last night. One of the most exciting WNBA Finals we've ever had. Every game, with the exception of Game 2, was a nail-biter all the way to the very end. So we're going to react to that. But you know what, Joe? The NBA starts tomorrow, so we got to get everybody ready for the NBA season as well. And when you're trying to get your bets in and doing all that good stuff for the NBA this season, you should do it on Boom Fantasy, where you can enter the code POSSIBLE, and you will get up to $250 in a risk-free bet on your first bet. What that means is you put $250 on the bet, and it misses, they're going to give it right back to you in a bonus bet to use on other bets of your liking. Obviously, check your legalities before downloading the app. The app will not let you download it if it is not yet legal in your state. If you're in a state like Missouri, where my guy Joe is,
You gotta remind
you got your opportunity to hit ballot box in a couple weeks. You got your opportunity.
Amendment 2.
Right?
Vote yes. Ozzie Smith said do it, so do it.
So you got your opportunity to go do it.
One more damn time.
Gamble responsibly if you do. But Joe, let's get right into it. WNBA Finals. The Liberty take home their first ever WNBA championship. Give me a reaction. Jonquel Jones was named WNBA Finals MVP. How do you feel about that? How'd you feel about the series? Talk to me. Your face says you're a little disappointed.
Man, well, Jonquel Jones definitely deserved Finals MVP. She balled out. She was the best player for Liberty because, like we discussed before, I tried to tell you, Sabrina Ionescu can show up sometimes in other games. If you get her out of the rhythm early, she can have some ugly games. But I mean, she's still a big bucket getter when the time matters. But you can keep her out of a game for a long time. My issue is it's tainted. We saw something so great, and y'all tainted it with that horrible call. Like, just let it be, and whoever wins, wins. I get it. You want that big market to win. It felt very NBA-ish. Like, okay, superstars are going to get that call at the end of the game in a winner-go-home type of situation. You give those calls to the stars. So I understand it. But when it's on that stage, it's the WNBA. You guys quite aren't at that level yet to where that's not going to be ignored and people are going to accept the greatness of what they just watched. They're going to go straight to that call and talk about that call. And that's, so I thought they did a terrible job. And that's not the first time in this series where they made some calls and gave Breonna Stewart a situation where she could have won the game for him. So it definitely looked like some favoritism leaning towards the Liberty, which really tainted the. Besides that, I thought it was great to see some WNBA players who weren't the main stars getting some action, getting some shine. What Jones has been able to do the last 2-3 years has been amazing, going from most improved player to MVP to Finals MVP. So they really are a stacked team, and it's gonna be nice to see if they can do it again. But to be quite honest, their stars didn't play well, and they got bailed out.
They did get bailed out. I'm exactly with you there, Joe. I was just because the games were so good, but game 1 and game 5, both were tainted by the refereeing and both went the Liberty's way. So like that's just that's the kind of the thing for me.
Yep.
We were talking about it before the series started. We were, this is going to be great. Can Nafisa do it kind of on her own? Courtney Williams showed up in most of the game. She had a real rough game 5,
She did show
unfortunately
up.
for her and for the Lynx. But yeah, man, it's hard because not only was the foul very, very, very questionable, Breonna Stewart traveled her ass off before the foul. So it's like it's not only did you like bail her out with a weak foul call, but you also just like had to be blind to not see that travel. I was watching it live. I was just like, what just happened? Like, what are we doing? Like, she legit got the LeBron treatment right there. We're not gonna look at your feet. We're not gonna count your steps at all. And then we're gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. I think she has earned the benefit of the doubt on foul calls. I'm not trying to dispute
I knew that, yeah.
to it. But like you said, in that
Not that
moment,
call, though.
it better be a damn foul. It better it better at least be like letter of the law. That's a foul. I'm still not sure she actually even got touched. Like,
And then you reviewed it and still said it was a foul. Like, and I even watched it. I wanted to see the lower body contact. I thought they were going to call that. That was very marginal. There was no upper body contact at all. It was a bad call.
Like Breonna Stewart initiated all of the lower body contact.
A bad call.
And here's just, and this is not unique to the WNBA. It's in the same way in the NBA. When they review a foul like that, I really hate that they cannot review the full extent of like the gather all the way in to see if there was a violation before, because there's no way that they were watching that replay. And this is kind of what pissed me off, that they didn't at least just say, oh, actually, no foul, we'll jump it up or something. There's no way they didn't see her travel when they slowed it down like that.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
There's no way they didn't see them miss that call, and then you're gonna choose to award her free throws on top of it. Like that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But nonetheless, I don't want to distract from the, like you said, from the main
great,
the main thing. It was an amazing series. It was box office. Sabrina struggled throughout, but that shot that she made in Game 4, Joe. I mean,
Dagger.
from the logo.
That was nuts.
I mean, I'm sorry, not Game 4. What's it? Game 3.
Game 3.
Game 3, I believe.
Game 3.
Yeah, that. Oh my lord. Oh,
that was
my
nasty,
Lord.
man.
That was incredible.
She was comfortable, no hesitation.
Well,
I mean,
she was struggling in that game.
Dave Moore's shot over Paul George.
Yeah. Facts. I texted a friend. I was like, somewhere Paul George is saying how that was a bad shot. We know how Paul George gets down.
Right.
All right, Joe. Any last comments on it? And I do want to just co-sign what you said. Jonquel Jones absolutely deserved Finals MVP. Absolutely deserved it. Any last commentary on the WNBA season as we kind of wrap that up and turn our focus to the NBA?
Let's keep the hype going. Hopefully the women's college game will be able to keep this hype going and people don't get distracted and move on quickly. So it was a great WNBA season, and we got to be able to keep going. They just backed out of their CBA, so now they're in a lockout. They're trying to get more money. This is the time for that avalanche to keep going and build up. So hopefully they get that opportunity.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. Right, Joe, we got it turned over to the NBA. And one of our favorite segments to do for the NBA preview that we've done the last couple of years, those top 10 players. Now, before we get into ours, Joe, and I'm going to let you go first after I read ESPN's list, but we always got to start with what ESPN says. The hot take machine. So here's how they see it. Their top 10, Joe. Number 10, they've got Ant. Number 9, they put KD, who got bounced out the playoffs and swept by Ant. Just pointing that out there. Number 8, they got Joel Embiid, who is going to refuse to play back-to-backs this year. Number 7, they got your boy LeBron James.
All right.
6, they got Curry. 5, St. Louis finest, Jason Tatum. Number 4, we got SGA after that breakout season he had last year. Number 3, we got Giannis. 2, we got Luka. And then number 1, the dude that can barely jump over a phone book, but just still dominates the NBA, Nikola Jokic. So, Joe, I'm gonna let you just kind of react to that list.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not too mad at it. I'm not mad at least the players that they chose. I got them
right, exactly,
in dramatically different order, but the 10 aren't the worst. I think I got one different. I would remove one for theirs and add one for me, but nonetheless, Joe, let me get your top 10. Let's go from 10 to 1.
All right, number 10, Kevin Durant. First of all, I don't know how they had Anthony Edwards behind Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, last time we saw him, you get playoffs multiple times in the first round, so you automatically get inducted for that. I don't care how nice you play defensively and offensively. You had Bradley Beal and Devin Booker, and y'all got bounced. So you're 10. Number 9, LeBron James, the GOAT. He's still goated. He's still the most impactful player on his team. So I'm gonna put him at number 9. Number 8, Anthony Edwards. I think what he did last year, he carried that team in moments. I think he fell into hero ball a little bit too much. But besides that, I think he had a great season, and what he does defensively is amazing. So I'm gonna put him at 8. 7, I'm putting Curry because he still shoots the ball lights out. This man is something different, and I think Golden State Warriors really don't have much, but he was still able to keep that team afloat a lot of the year last year, even with Klay Thompson's struggles and Draymond's hot-headedness. Curry kept them relevant for majority of the season. So I'll put him at 7. 6, I'm putting the St. Louis kid, Jason Tatum. I think he didn't get enough love for the impact that he has for the Boston Celtics. And I think a lot of people are sitting there looking at Jaylen Brown and not realizing that Jason Tatum's the one that's really making everything easier for everybody else. 5, I'm going to put Giannis. At first, I had Giannis up higher, but he was injured a little bit last year, and I feel like the team should have just been better. He did still put up great numbers, but I feel like if you're Giannis and you're that guy, I feel like you got to have more impact in the winning category. 4, I'm putting Joel Embiid there. I think what he did improved himself in the playoffs, even though he was hobbled. I know people are going to be mad about the back-to-backs. I think that is some pushy shit right there for sure. But what he did last year in the playoffs, he showed me something. And what he did in that first half of the season last year, he was on a historic pace and he was dominating. He was breaking Wilt Chamberlain-esque numbers. So you got to give people respect when they're being mentioned with Wilt Chamberlain for offensive stats and things like that. So I'm gonna give Embiid his respect. 3rd, I'm putting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think he's going to continue to get consistent and grow and get better and better. I liked what he did last year and what he did in the playoffs. He proved that when he needs to drop 30, he can drop 30 for you. 2nd, I'm putting Luka. That's just what he do. I mean, if he puts the beer down, he may be able to get him a championship. But even with the beer, he got to a championship. So I'm putting him number 2. And then, number 1 is that Serbian dude. It is what it is. You just can't stop. Jokic is that man right now. I mean, I think he only got a year or two being the man, but right now it is what it is. I'm not gonna say he can win another championship because I don't like the team around him, but shit, you know what you're getting out of Jokic every night. That's my top 10.
All right. All right.
And you don't.
I would say
I
I would B. I'd grade that a B.
A B.
We got a lot of the same
B.
players. We got a lot of the same players. Some in just drastically different order, but B plus. I'll give you B plus. All right, so I'll get into mine. You are right. That's the one person that's going to be different from ours. I got Jimmy at 10. I know he was hurt a lot last year. Missed a lot of time. If you've watched the Netflix documentary, we know why he missed a lot of time now in the spring with his father passing away. So I think we're getting contract year Jimmy. So
are we giving him a pass for that now? We giving him a pass for that?
I mean, he was still fantastic when he played. It's not like he was bad when he was on the court.
Nah, bro. You brought that up like you was trying to give him a pass. You did not give Karl Anthony Towns no pass when he lost his mama and his daddy from COVID in the same year. You was still shitting on him and calling him soft and all kind of shit. Now Jimmy Butler have a bad season because his daddy died. You trying to be sensitive towards it.
He didn't have a bad season.
He didn't have a great season.
He did? When he was on the court?
Did he contribute to winning?
On the court?
Did he contribute to winning?
He missed a lot of games. Some of that due to injuries, some of that to the situation. I never gave Karl Anthony Towns any shit for missing games when his parents died. I never said anything about that. He's still soft.
Called the man soft.
He is soft. When he plays, he's soft. But I didn't give him any shit for when he chose not to when he took some days off. I never gave him any shit for that.
This man put Jimmy Butler number 10. It's crazy.
10.
Go ahead. Keep
Number
going,
9,
bro.
I got your boy LeBron. I think we're in line there. He's starting to slip down these lists for me each and every year, but I mean, the man's 40. I mean, but what can you expect? Like, this is still just incredible that he's even being held to this regard. Number 8, I got KD. I think KD's still like that. I think he gives you something defensively still that LeBron can't quite give you. I was really close to flipping those two though. And I'm kind of mad that I didn't, just because of LeBron's playmaking and getting everybody organized. But I got to call a spade too. LeBron, I can't criticize KD's lack of playoff success and then not criticize LeBron for his, just because I like him more. So I'll go KD 8. I'm going Tatum 7. I think that's a little lower than you. I think you had him 5 up there, something like that.
6.
Yeah, I agree with your point. Like, we can do all this. It was cute. They gave Jaylen Brown the Finals MVP he didn't deserve. That's cute. That's fine. Jason Tatum drives that entire team. He drives the entire team. He made the selfless decision to share the ball a little bit more, to play a little less hero ball, and then everyone followed his lead, in my opinion. So I'm gonna give Tatum credit for that. Again, this is another one I was really close to flipping. I've got Curry 6. I think Curry, what he brings in just terms of leadership, and again, like you were saying, all the stuff that he was trying to manage last year and still kept that team afloat. I'm going to give him the slight edge there, just because I still sometimes, like, I watch the Celtics and I'm just like, God, you guys are so talented, but you just do some stupid shit sometimes. So
Dumb shit.
I'm like, the Warriors always just look more organized. Now they just don't have the surrounding roster that the Celtics have around Tatum. But number 5, I got Luka. Went to the championship. I still don't love the play style. I'm still not in love with how he plays basketball, but he got a team to the championship there. I think some of that was a little fortunate on the teams that he kind of ended up coming across at the time that they did. But nonetheless, he got them there. And the playmaking and individual play is still just that incredible, where he has to be, I feel like, in your top 5. Number 4, I got SGA. Like you said, Mr. Consistent. Give you 30 every single night. Again, I was close to swapping him and Luka, just because Luka did beat him in the playoffs last year. But I just prefer SGA's play style a little more than Luka's. But we'll see. Number 3, I got Ant. I think Ant stamped all that. When we did our predictions last year before the season on where we had the Timberwolves, one, I was the only person to put Ant in my top 10 last year, but we also, none of us had the Timberwolves doing anything. I think all of us had them missing the play-in. He took them all the way to the 2 seed in a run in the playoffs. He's doing much more with less than any of those other guys, in my opinion.
This man he just got little brother by half of the people you just named in the Olympics. He got little brother by all of them, but somehow he better than them. What you mean? LeBron, Durant, Curry.
All right,
all those people. Embiid. All them people big brothered him at the Olympics.
Hell, first of all, he was way better than Embiid in the Olympics. Embiid was a liability when he was on the court for Team USA. LeBron on the Olympic team, yeah, he could look fantastic because he doesn't have to do everything.
He won in the semifinal game.
Joel Embiid?
Embiid did. It was down the stretch. It was Embiid.
No, it was Curry. Curry took over the semis and the finals.
No, that was
Curry took over the semis and the finals.
No, Embiid before that. Embiid. No, then Embiid did that,
Embiid
bro.
Was terrible.
Embiid started it. Yes, they did. He wasn't great, but he started that run.
The entire Olympics. He was a liability for like 90% of the time he was
He couldn't
out there.
play defense. He definitely couldn't play no defense.
Look, LeBron can do his thing on the Olympics team because he doesn't have to do everything. All right, like he just gets to focus on the one thing that he's still really good at: driving, kicking, or finishing at the rim. That's all he had to do. When you have to put them on their own team, you don't get to have superstars all next to you. Ant did more with. You can't tell me that who's Anthony Davis for Ant last year. No one.
Rudy Gobert.
Exactly.
Rudy Gobert.
Exactly. Case in point right there. Anyways, number 2, I got Giannis.
Rudy Gobert, defensive player of the year.
I got Giannis for 2. Don't do that. Don't you fucking do that. I got Giannis 2. And then until someone proves it otherwise, Jokic is number 1. Jokic is number 1 until proven otherwise. He's too good. He's too damn good.
He really
That's
is.
my list. That's my list. That's okay. Y'all can disagree with it.
I don't hate it.
Y'all didn't want to buy
don't hate
it last year. I tried to tell y'all. And again, I'm trying to project that he's going to get better. He's only 22. He's only 22.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got more room to grow than any of those
22,
people
23.
So I'm good with it. I like it.
Bro, I'm surprised no one had Jalen Brunson on there because no one's buying that Jalen Brunson.
I was kind of between him and Jimmy for 10. There was not a chance in hell I was putting Joel Embiid in my top 10 after he says he's only going to play like a max of 60-something games. Absolutely not. And that's just on back-to-back player. And that's just on back-to-backs. That's not even taking into account the games he's going to miss because he's going to have an owie or he's going to flop too many times and hurt his back.
He can play 42 games. He's still a top 10 player in the league.
No. You see what I'm saying on my list, right? Even though he's really fucking good when he plays. I don't got no Kawhi on there.
So when James Harden had those 30 games with 30 points in a row, you didn't have him in your top 10?
How is that even compared?
Because Joel Embiid just, but he was dropping 50s. Because he was dropping 50s.
James Harden.
He was doing 50 and 10. He was dropping 50 and 10. Yeah, but all he did was shoot threes and get fouls. But you still put him in the top 10. You didn't like his game. You thought it was ugly, but you still have him in the top 10.
You don't have to fight me on not liking James Harden. I don't fucking like him.
I'm just saying you had him in the top 10. Joel Embiid was putting 50 and 10 consistently for like a month straight.
He was not
before he got hurt.
He had like 2 50-point games. That's not doing it consistently.
That boy,
right, he had a good stretch. Joel Embiid, the handful of games that he puts his mind to being a basketball player is really good at basketball.
To Wilt Chamberlain. And then that man was looking like this, dog. He was looking like this and freaking was winning games.
Oh my god.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. We're going to act like this no matter.
That's the same thing we got every single year with Joel Embiid. It's the same thing. We got a bunch of missed games in the regular season, so they couldn't have the easy matchup in the playoffs. Then when they get to the playoffs and have inevitably the tougher opponent because they didn't have a good enough record from the regular season, now he's battling through some injuries again, and once again, bounced in the fucking conference semis. I'm not hearing it. Like, I need to see something more from Joel Embiid. I'm sorry. He's not 22 anymore. He's not Ant on the rise. He is 30 fucking years old, and he doesn't know what the conference finals looks like. He's not a top 10 player. He's not. Even Kawhi,
Kevin Durant don't know what it looked like either.
Type of injury bullshit. He's done it. He's done it more recently than Joel Embiid.
That's fair.
Joel Embiid had a chance. All he had to do was beat some goddamn Trae Young, and he couldn't do it. He had to be Trae Young to go to at least one conference finals, and what did he do? He lost.
Trae Young was elite that year. I'm just saying.
I'm not
whatever.
We've had all these years in between. They barely even make the play-in.
He had Ben Simmons. He had to deal with Ben Simmons. That terrible organization. We're not gonna shit on the process.
I absolutely.
The process is over, by the way. We gotta get that nickname up.
And guess what? They brought in Paul George, right? They brought in James Harden for him. How many superstars do you need? How many different superstar combinations does this man need? They got your boy Big Booty Lowry over there with him. Tyrese Maxey.
That's funny.
All this shit around.
Is Paul George gonna play game 1?
I don't fucking know. They brought in another. They're putting the geriatric crew together over there in Philly.
It's funny as fuck, bro.
Funny as fuck. Organization. That's what. That's how you. I don't know why that just made me remember it, but why are their fucking statues so little? I just saw the AI statue from last year that they debuted. That just explains their whole fucking process. They're all fucked up there. Joel Embiid got screwed by getting drafted by Philadelphia. I'm sorry.
First of all, fuck Philly. They got a statue of Rocky, who's not even a real person. So Philly can never talk about statues.
All right, you got me all negative.
Like, do you know all the legendary boxers that they have in Philadelphia? They put up one of a fake motherfucker. Like, really? So fuck Philly. That's how I feel about it. Craziness.
All right. All right, let's do something different. What are you most excited about this year, Joe? We got we got a whole bunch of different storylines that you can kind of choose from. Which one are you most excited about watching? And I already know what you're gonna fucking say.
No, you don't. I'm finna cry, bro. I'm gonna cry about it, dog. I'm gonna cry about it, dog. I know a lot of people was upset and cried when D Rose said he was retiring. Well, my D Rose is back, baby. Lonzo Ball is back, baby, and it's the greatest thing ever. I can't wait, bro. I can't wait, bro. He gonna be an all-star, or at least borderline. This man finna come, bro. I've been waiting for Lonzo Ball for 2.5 years. That man. Last time the Chicago Bulls was relevant when Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso was healthy together. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Watch out, Lonzo Ball shooting the ball lights out. Last time he played was playing three. He was a 3-and-D player, and he was a key role to the Chicago Bulls and that team until they decided to blow it all up, and they didn't know if they wanted to compete or not. So I can't wait to see what Lonzo Ball gonna do. I hope he can stay healthy all year. I want to see what highlights he gonna do. I'm just so excited to see what Lonzo Ball gonna do because literally last year Stephen A. Smith was like, "You can't even walk. You can't even sit down and stand up." And now look at his ass on the court playing. So I can't wait. I'm so
I'm
excited.
actually with you on that one, Joe. I'm excited for that too. I am excited to see what Lonzo looks like. I hope to God he can stay healthy, because Lord knows he's had enough knee problems for a lifetime,
Mhm.
and we'll probably have a bunch once he finally does decide to hang him up and retire. But yeah, I mean, he was looking really
Big baller
promising
brand
the
shit
last
is
time he
good.
was out there. I remember we were talking about the Bulls, and I was excited about the Bulls in large part because of how he was looking. Like he was like people forget how that team was
Mhm.
kind of flirting with being something when they still had DeRozan and Levine and
It was
and
like a top
Lonzo was
four
running the
seed.
point. Like
Yeah.
that team was not bad. That team, yeah, that team was pretty good. Um, Storyline that I am most looking forward to, I am looking forward to this new age Warriors. I'm very excited. I'm just very
JJ Redick.
interested to see what it looks like. No,
I get you.
I'm excited to see what the Warriors look like. It's obviously always tough when super teams break up their superstars and the people that you're used to, but they low key kind of have they kind of have an exciting potential with their team. I think an underrated pickup this offseason was them getting Buddy Healed. Like I think that could be.
Yeah.
I mean, he can really fill it up from three. So I mean, he might be able to be a very good replacement for Clay Thompson, who is now obviously with Dallas. So I'm kind of excited to see them. Kuminga, they just decided today they're gonna have to do the contract in the offseason. So he'll kind of be in a contract year. Will he try and go too much hero ball? Will he still try to fit into the Warrior system? I know they just locked up Moses Moody. So I feel like this is finally forcing Steve Kerr to have to be a coach for these young guys. And I'm interested to see how it looks. I don't have a lot of high expectations for Steve Kerr as a head coach
Oh,
and developing players,
I was gonna say.
but I'm not saying it's going to go well. I'm just excited to see how it unfolds. Whether it goes well or doesn't, I think it's an interesting storyline for this season because I think we would all like to see Curry, especially with how he closed out the Olympics. Can we get a little more Curry magic before he hangs him up? I think that would be ideal for basketball fans.
I got
All right,
another good
Joe.
one though too.
Oh,
Chris Paul
okay.
and the Spurs. I want to see that. I want to see Chris Paul and
Yeah.
Wemby. Chris Paul and Wemby gonna be crazy to see. It's gonna be like Blake Griffin and
Well, that's
Lob
that's a good
City, or
segue,
it's gonna
Joe.
be oh shit, Chris Paul's old as fuck.
That's a good transition, Joe. So let's get into the Western Conference prediction. So we are going to predict seeds 1 through 6. We're not going to get into the play-in. We're just going to get to the teams that are going to actually make the playoffs all the way outright on their own. So, Joe, do those Spurs crack your top 6?
They don't actually. I was really close to putting them on there. I was gonna put them at number 6, and then I was like, oh wait, I forgot about the Phoenix Suns. So I got the Phoenix Suns at number 6, just because I didn't like what I saw from them last year. They don't seem like they melded and gelled very well. They're still trying to figure out that point guard situation. I'm a little concerned about that. 5, I have the Sacramento Kings. I think they're just a solid, good team. They're gonna be consistent. I mean, they don't really scare you, but they're good enough to win games, especially at home. 4, I'm gonna put Minnesota. I like what Anthony Edwards is doing. I like the pieces around him. But I just think it's going to take them a while to figure out Julius Randle and that spacing on the floor and how they're going to make that all work out. Third, I think the Dallas Mavericks are going to be with Luka, Kyrie, but adding Klay Thompson I think adds another element. If he can be a better version of Tim Hardaway Jr., Klay Thompson, then I think they will be really good. Second, I have Oklahoma City Thunder. I think they just got a lot of young talent, and they're going to continue to grow and get better and better. They got Mr. Consistent and all that young talent. They're only going to get better. And then, honestly, number one, I'm going to put the Denver Nuggets. I think they did lose a lot. I think they're struggling, but I also think they just got a wake up call to the way they lost in the playoffs. A lot of people thought they were just going to ease through, and now it's a little bit more competitive. So I think they're going to realize, oh, we can't cruise through the regular season and then just flip a switch in the playoffs. So I think they're going to be locked in, ready to go. So I'm going to take the Nuggets with the number one seed.
All right. I don't hate that. I don't hate any of that. Mine's different, but I think we got most of the same teams. So at 6, I do have those Dallas Mavericks. I don't expect them to be a great regular season team. I think they could still be a dangerous team in the playoffs, depending on how all that talent meshes. But you know how I am. I don't like the way that they play on offense. I think that's not going to be a very good fit for Klay Thompson. I hope I'm wrong, but Klay better get real usage of standing in the corner, not moving at all, and being expected to shoot whenever Luka can't figure out what he wants to do. Number 5, I got the Pelicans. We got Skinny Zion, so I'm hoping Zion can stay healthy. But I think if he can stay healthy, I think that team is in a really good shape, and I think they're going to fill out the roster whenever they trade Brandon Ingram. But I think DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, and Zion is a really good big three, a really versatile big three. So, and I like the big shot making that DeJounte Murray provides to that team. I thought they missed that last year, especially once Zion got hurt in the playoffs, or play-in, whichever that was. DeJounte made a lot of really big shots last year. A lot of big shots in the fourth quarter. So I think that's going to help them out.
I'm just not buying that health.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's definitely a risk. 4, I got the Suns. I do think they will have a little bit better chemistry. They're just starting the year off much healthier than they started last year. You know, if you remember last year, they went in, Brad was dealing with the back issue and everything. He barely played at all in the regular season. It just seemed like they never really could get started last year. So I think they've got more time to gel, and I expect them to be a little better in the regular season. KD's probably still going to miss 10 to 15 games. I would imagine, just as he's getting older, they're going to want to take care of and kind of load manage him a little bit. At number 3, I got the Nuggets. I'm not quite buying them to be quite as good in the regular season as some of these younger teams. I'm not saying they're going to be disinterested as they seemed this year, but I do think they're going to be pretty intentional with how they use those minutes. Jamal Murray was banged up a lot last year. I don't think they're going to be able to play him on a 75 to 82 game pace. I think they're going to play for the playoffs. I think they'll still win a ton of games because Jokic is Jokic. Russ will keep them engaged on a nightly basis, coming off the bench and filling in for Murray when he can't go. So I still got them in the top 3. I got the T-Wolves number 2. I think there might be a slightly slow start, but I don't think it's going to be that hard of a fit. And the fit that I really love, even almost more than Julius Randle, the more that I think about it, is the other piece of that trade, Dante DiVincenzo. I love putting that shooting next to Anthony Edwards, next to a Rudy Gobert. I think that really helps fill out the roster or fill out the rotation. I think they really missed just a knockdown shooter like Dante DiVincenzo last year. So I'm putting them 2, and then I got Mr. Consistent in the Thunder number 1. I don't see any way around that. They're young. They're I can't see them not being a really good regular season team. Now, I got to see them in the playoffs last year. I've got some questions for when they get to the playoffs this upcoming year. But I think during the regular season, when they get to play, the Charlottes and the Atlantas and the the Portland Trailblazers, those types of teams. I think they're not going to have any funny business with those teams. I think they're just going to be able to clean them up, and they'll win a lot of those games against the upper seeds as well. So that's what I think. We got 5 out of the same 6, just slightly different order.
I'm not hating, man.
All right, then let's go
I'm mad
to
at
the
it.
other conference. Let's go to the other conference, the East, the Beast, as some would say. Joe, give me your top 6 in the East. I think this could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah, the East actually may be stacked again finally, but I doubt it. Sixth, I'm going with the Orlando Magic. I like them a lot. They got to work off on their offense. I think they need an offensive piece, but they got the length and the defense. And if Paulo Pincheiro can take another step, I think they can be a really good team. They're just missing one offensive talent, but they got a lot of depth with the length and size. So I'm gonna put them sixth. 5, I'm gonna put the Cajuns. Everybody's there. Everybody's committed. They've been there together for a couple years now. They have no excuses. I think they're a good, solid team. They don't scare me in the playoffs in a series, but I think any given night in the regular season, you can't just go in and say we're gonna beat the Cavs tonight. 4, I'm gonna put the Pacers. I like what they did last year. I like their offense. I have a lot of questions. I just don't think that offense can keep up and stay alive in the NBA. I think people are going to catch up to it. Kind of sunk them in the playoffs last year because they couldn't keep up with that pace, and especially when they had some injuries. So I'm interested to see what they can do there. Third, I'm gonna put the 76ers, Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey. If they can stay healthy, there's no reason why they're not a top 3 seed in the East. Second, I know Chris Middleton is hobbled, but they got Giannis, and if Giannis is healthy and they role players can play a little bit better, Brook Lopez needs to play better than he did last year. If he can stretch the floor and make threes a little bit more
Dame Dollar
consistent than
better
he did
play
last
better
year,
next
and
year.
well, yeah, Dame Dollar need to play better too. That's a great point. He need to play better too. I think he's gonna be more acclimated to his environment, and he's gonna be more into the groove of things. He did have a lot going on last year. Since Jimmy Butler gets a pass, I think Dame can get a pass. So I'm gonna put the Bucks 2, and then number 1, I'm putting the Boston Celtics. I just think they got the regular season down. They just gonna cruise through. They know how the regular season is. They did it last year. They'll do it again this year. The regular season is no problem for the Celtics and that front running ass team.
All right, we're a little more different on the East. We're a little more different on the East.
Oh yeah, because I
I
didn't
don't know
put the
how
Heat up
you
there.
I don't know how you tell me that you're worried about the Pelicans from an injury standpoint, and then going to go put the 76ers at third. That don't really make sense to me, but whatever.
Because I
I
got
got the
Tyrese Maxey.
76ers. I got the 76ers at 6. They are a playoff team to me, but I think PG's going in hurt. Embiid's already blocked off 15 games of the year. Maxey's nice, but we talked about this in the offseason when PG was kind of
He's not
deciding
number
where he
one.
was going to go. I don't love pushing Maxey to 3, like as the third option. I just really don't love that. I like Maxey to me excelled as that co-star last year. We saw him have a harder time with that when he had to play third when James Harden was there. So I don't love that. I don't love that fit, and I don't love the health of that team. So we'll see. I've got the Knicks at 5. I think they are slightly worse for the regular season. I think they can still be a tough out in the playoffs because Brunson did prove that he can be a big time shot maker in big moments. But I think the Karl Anthony Towns trade is going to take a little adjusting to. I think more so for Cat to find out how he kind of fits in with that team. It's going to be a pretty drastic difference. I think Brunson really can hold the ball for a long time at times. I don't know how that's going to affect Cat, so we'll see. I think they might have some growing pains. I think
Knicks
they're
not
going to
be good, bro.
I think they're going to miss DiVincenzo's shooting as well. I know Cat's a good shooting big and everything. I'm not trying to knock him there, but I think they're going to miss DiVincenzo a little bit. Obviously, they did add Mikal Bridges, which I do like, but I just think figuring out how all that's going to fit together is still going to be interesting. Whoever's going to play the 4 is going to be fairly undersized. I'm assuming it's going to be OG. That's going to take some time, I think.
Wasn't Tibbs the coach too when Jimmy Butler went in there and shitted on the whole starting
Yes.
team?
Yes, he was.
I'm just saying. I think that's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's like Tibbs got a front row seat to that, and still brought him in, but whatever. Number 4, I got my Heat. I think Pat Riley delivered the message to Jimmy. You were going through some shit last year. I need you to play basketball this year. I think if the Heat stay healthy and if the Heat have their players this year, I don't see how they're not a top 4 team in the East. Yes. I don't see what's crazy about that. I don't see what's crazy
The
about
only
that.
piece they missed last year was Jimmy Butler. Okay, I guess. Whatever. We'll see.
Tyler Hero missed like 30. Tyler Hero missed like 30 games last year.
Oh yeah.
Hero missed 30 games. Duncan missed 25 games.
Not an impact player.
Yes, he makes the entire offense go. I got the Heat at 4 again. I could be wrong. They do seem to
Ain't
fuck
nobody
around
worried
in the
about
regular season
the
a
Miami
lot,
Heat, bro.
but they're worried when it comes time.
Bro.
They're worried when it comes time. You saw the Celtics could barely beat the Heat without Jimmy. You know they're scared. That's the only team that can beat the Celtics. The only team that can do it. Everyone else, every time anyone else runs into doing the Celtics just win. I got on a similar vein to you, but I have them a little higher. I got the Cavs at 3. I think they're just a regular season team. I don't think they're a real threat in the East, but I think they'll win a bunch of regular season games and have a nice seeding. And then we'll get to this point. We'll kind of be like, oh yeah, they got a lot of versatility with Mobley and Jared Allen. If Strus is making his threes, we'll get all excited, and then they'll lose 4-1 to somebody in the first round, but they'll have like some exciting stuff. Donovan Mitchell will have like a 50-point game mixed in there to win them one game, and then they'll be bounced out like they have been. My top 2 are just like yours. I got the Bucks number 2. I think Damian Lillard. I think Dame Lillard will fit a little better this year. I will say this, Joe. No more damn excuses for some Doc Rivers. Get it fucking done. Figure it out. That's too much talent right there. You got Giannis, who both of us had, I think, top 3. I had him 2. You had him 3, I think. Doc needs to figure it out. That's too much stuff over there. And then number 1, the Celtics, like you said, front-running team. They'll win regular season games. Ain't nobody worried about that. But we'll see when they don't have. We'll see if they don't quite have the cakewalk, in the playoffs to see if they actually have to play somebody with their best player before the finals. So that's how I got the East going down. We're a little different there. We're a little different there. You're just a hater.
I didn't have Knicks in my top 6.
I don't hate it. Like, look, that could go tragically wrong. That really could go tragically wrong. I was close to not putting them in there. I was close to having the Magic in there. I was close to having the Pacers in there. I kind of have like similar questions about those teams in terms of consistency during the regular season. But I like what the Magic are made of. I kind of need to see that scoring happen. But we'll see.
Can't score. Yeah, 92 points a game ain't gonna cut it in the NBA.
Not this NBA.
Games that way.
All right. Let's go to our bold prediction of the year, Joe. What you got?
Oklahoma City Thunder gets the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, and they draft Cooper Flag. That's gonna be my bold prediction, and that's because the Clippers, the Clippers suck. Kawhi Leonard is already hurt, so if the Clippers clip and lose a lot of games, OKC owns the rights to the Clippers pick if it's a lottery pick. And if the Clippers suck like I think they're gonna suck this year, OKC could end up with the number 1 pick. And they could have Cooper Flag, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren. They could have a squad, bro.
On that?
They
don't got any protections on
that? Nope. Nope. That's my bold prediction. The Clippers gonna clip.
I'm gonna root for that. I'm gonna root for that.
Clippers gonna clip, baby.
Wow. All right, here's my bold prediction, Joe. Wemby is going to have multiple quadruple doubles this year. multiple quadruple doubles for Wemby this year. I think he's gonna hit that 10 block, that 10 block number.
Hate it.
And look, some of these passes that he's been making, albeit just the preseason, dude's got vision as well. That's my bold prediction. Wemby will have
He
multiple
does.
quadruple doubles this year. He's truly an alien. Truly, and he might be they might be the team that make us just look really dumb at the end of the year. Like, how did you not have them in the playoffs? And blah 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 blah. Right? Like they could be
Because
one of those
Keon
kind of
Johnson is their
meteoric.
second best player.
Keldon Johnson is their third best player. Don't be
Keldon.
disrespectful.
To who?
Chris Paul is better than him. Chris Paul is better than him. Don't do that.
Chris Paul old as
Did you
shit.
did you see
Come on.
did you see the Spurs and the Heat just played I think it was both their final preseason games, and I forgot that there's a kind of a little history there between Chris Paul and Jimmy, dating back to the bubble,
Oh,
where Chris Paul kept getting rough with Duncan and Hero, and so Jimmy on like a play while they're in the bubble, like just looked to like set a screen and just decked Chris Paul for a reason, but it seemed like it was kind of out of nowhere. Then they started going back at it again. Chris Paul got rough with Jovic and like just like kind of yanked his arm and threw him to the ground, and so Jimmy got in his face and he was they were talking that shit, and Chris, I got 20 years in this. I got 20 years in this. And Jimmy just looks at him. I don't give a fuck how many years you got in this. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you.
right.
Why does Chris Paul
That's
gets on,
good.
like, everyone seems to hate him. Like,
Unless
stop
he's your
being such a
teammate.
dick. God damn. Yeah, but like he just does like petty shit.
Little
It's not
Manson.
even like like Beverly will get under your skin because of like how he's just like always in your ass. Chris Paul just does like low key dirty shit, like hitting people in the nuts, like just just like random shit.
Facts.
Like stop doing that. Like damn.
Like not even necessary, bro. Like you're right. I get it.
God. Like, all right, Joe. Last one before we get out of here. Finals prediction. What you got?
I'm going Bucks, Mavs. I think Luka can get them back there with the addition of Klay Thompson. I think that's going to be a huge addition. And Giannis, if he can be fully healthy and Dame plays better, Brook Lopez, the Bucks are still a good team. And people shitted on them last year, and Giannis still had a really damn good season. So I'm going Bucks, Mavs, finals prediction.
And winner?
Oh, I got to pick a winner?
Of course. Is it 3 to possible or what?
Giannis. I'm taking the Bucks. Giannis, get him another chip.
All right. I was debating whether I should mix this in with my bold prediction, but I
feel
decided
Giannis
not to.
Giannis is on a revenge. He was hurt last year. People were shitting.
Hey. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't know that I trust Doc to get him there, but I don't hate it. My finals prediction is Nuggets over Celtics. I got the Celtics going back, but I got the Nuggets winning, and you know what that would mean? My boy Russ gets one. My boy Russ gets a ring. I think
That would be
once
awesome.
you get to the playoffs, once they get to the playoffs and they see Russ over there, they know Russ don't got one. You know all Russ's teammates love him. I think that's going to be that kind of next thing that just really drives them and makes them stay on their shit, unlike last year. So I got Nuggets beating the Celtics. I think they'll show. I think the Celtics will get back there. I don't feel super confident about the Celtics because they got really fortunate on how people just kept getting hurt right in front of them last year. But I'm gonna show them respect now. I probably won't pick them when we actually get to the playoffs because fuck the Celtics.
Porzingis ain't gonna be healthy.
Yeah, I was looking this up the other day, Joe. They've got him pegged to come back in December, so I think he'll have plenty of time to get acclimated. But again, will he stay healthy? That's always a crapshoot with him. But all right, Joe. You know how we end this show. We choose love. We choose violence. What you got?
I'm gonna choose. know what? I'm gonna choose violence. Fuck it. I'm choosing violence, and I'm gonna go at Stephen A. Smith again. Every time we talk WNBA, this man never talks about the fucking game. They talking. Sabrina Ionescu makes that big time shot in the game 3. This motherfucker don't talk about the game. He don't talk how happy Kobe Bryant would be. Then today, they not talking about the game. He's talking about how excited he is for New York finally winning a championship. And he goes through all the teams in New York and the last time they won it. Zero analysis, zero names, zero respect to these women on the court that are dominating and doing things. All he does is bring up Kobe Bryant or the fact
I'm
that
assuming
New
you
York
talk
finally
about
has a
Stephen A.
championship. And he brought up all the other teams. Yeah, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I couldn't hear you. You cut out. You cut out for me when you first started. So I was making sure you're talking about Stephen A.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about Stephen A. Yeah. Yep. Fuck Stephen A. Fuck Stephen A. He be on that bullshit when the WNBA conversations come up. He sit there and bloviate, but don't give any analysis. And then he say some bullshit to the women or men on there who are actually trying to have real analysis, and he changes the topic and storyline. And they're just sitting there, just keeps bringing up New York has a championship finally. Look at all these other teams that couldn't win, but now New York finally got one. Man, talk about the game.
He acts like the Giants didn't win. I mean, what even 15 years ago? Like that's not that long of a drought for a city. Like, yeah, I don't even watch him anymore. It's just not. It's not entertaining to me. Like it's just I don't know. There's nothing to it. I'm gonna choose violence, and you have to stay with me for a second on this one. You have to stay with me on this one for a little bit, Joe. But I love him, but I gotta choose violence on my man Tua. This man got on a podium today, Joe, and said, "I don't care about the odds. I will defy the odds. And I want to continue my playing career. No issue there. I love this game, football, so much. And I don't want to butcher this end quote to it. So I'm gonna pull it back up because I just couldn't believe like the actual words that he chose.
Oh wow.
I'm willing to play the odds, even if playing puts me at risk. I love this game, and I love it to the death of me. Tua, my boy, you're going literally. You're blacking out from head trauma on the field. That is not the word choice to be using right now, especially when last year we literally had a player die for a second on the field. Better word choice, please. Better. You want to keep playing? Fine. You want to be a dumbass? Fine. Lord knows my Dolphins need you to play quarterback for them right now in terms of the quality of the product on the field. But to the death of me, Tua. My quarterback's an idiot. I hate it. I hate to say it. My
No
quarterback's an
harm.
idiot. Like, that's what I was like. How did you not think about this before you got up there? You knew you were going to be asked about it.
It's fucking crazy.
God damn, man. But all right, y'all. You can see Joe's camera's going through it. We are 3 to possible.